Good morning, everybody. Well, probably good evening for everyone. My name is Wendy Wang. I'm a veterinarian who's been practicing in Vancouver, Canada for 10 years almost, and it's a pleasure for me today to present with you the preparation and success guide presented by WISE IAS Academy regarding how to prepare for board exams, including the BSCE, the PAVE, and NAVLE. So, as you guys all should know or not yet, let me just quickly go over what kind of questions you will be facing for the three examinations. For the BCSE, there will be 225 questions over a 220-minute time block. The PAVE will have the qualifying scientific exam part of it will have 200 questions over 220 minutes. And the NAVLE, which I myself is most familiar with, is 360 questions over 65-minute time blocks, and of which 300 questions of this 360 will be counted. So that sounds like so many multiple choices to be handling all at once. So some of the more important things is number one, we want to be able to analyze the questions to really understand what exactly is the question asking. And this is very important because we want to look for keywords such as not, such as except, most, or least. So we're not like rushing through each questions and thinking that this is what the question is asking when in fact it's not. And then we are wanting to understand the questions fully before looking at all the options. If possible, it's best to rephrase the question in your own words so that these confusing, confounding words that are out there to really test our reading comprehension skills, such as I said, the not, the except, the most, and the least, those ones can be eliminated, and then you can rephrase it in a way that you understand fully before jumping into the answers. And then when you look at all the options, make sure once again to read each answer choice carefully. Again, there might be some words in there such as all of the above, none of the above, two of the above, three of the above. So those are the things that we want to watch out for. And if possible, to rephrase your own answers as well before going into answering. And we do want to watch out for like also tricky wording such as double negatives, and also to eliminate those clearly wrong options so that hopefully out of the five options we're maybe down to two of which makes most sense to us, and then we can really think about what we're trying to do here before we plug in our answer. As I was just saying, there's so many multiple choices to be looking at. The BCSE, 225 questions over 220 minutes. The PAVE, 200 questions over 220 minutes. The NAVLE, 360 questions over 5 of the 65-minute blocks, and 300 of these questions are counted. So how can we make good choices? The common mistakes that we do want to avoid is we don't want to be misreading or skipping keywords. We don't want to be overthinking because sometimes not every question is a trick. Sometimes your first intuition and the most simple answer and the most logical answer is the right answer. So don't mull over a question for too long, and don't second guess yourself too many times. The things that you know, you know. It's in your brain. You've been learning about this for 45 years. It's there. So we just want to eliminate all the confounding other misleading options and choose the right one. And then if there's some that we just really feel overwhelmed, questions that really feel overwhelmed about, just skip it and move on and revisit later. So the key takeaways is that first, read the question twice, three times if needed. Identify those keywords, the not, the except, the least, the none of the above, all of the above, the double negatives. So identify those keywords and trust your preparation. Your first instinct is often right. And time management is also very important. Remember, each question counts as 1 point. And as I said, there's like a time limitation. So we really don't want to be spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes on one question and then missing out on reading the other questions carefully and getting them right. Each question is worth exactly the same points. So, how are some ways for us to prepare and study? I just want to know if my chat on the side is blocking my slide. Can Farhana or Pujita help me guide through this? If it is, I'm gonna just move this to the bottom. Will that be better? Like this? Can everyone see a little bit better? I'm hoping that silence is a yes. Okay, so number one, for studying and preparing, I always say, let's start by the practice questions. Why is that? It's because this will help you first understand where you're at in terms of your current knowledge. For the last 4 to 5 years of your veterinary medicine studying, how much have you retained? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Those are the things we want to look at. So we want to start with some practice questions. So in the first months, try to do as many practice questions as possible and get familiar with the style and format and think of it as a diagnostic test. And it's a map to help with your preparation. Once you start to really know what kind of questions are being thrown at you, and once you really know like what the strengths and weaknesses are, then you go back to studying the previous materials. And as I said, we want to target your weak areas after doing a month of practice questions. You will know what are the areas of which you are strong, what are the areas that you need to improve. For myself, it was definitely large animal surgery. I'm definitely a small animal, cats and dog kind of veterinarian. So that was really challenging for me, and I didn't really know for sure until I started doing my practice questions. Then I really went back to the notes to focus more time on understanding the anatomy again, understanding the surgical techniques again for large animals to help myself better prepare. And it's very important that repetition is key and note taking is key. Again, you don't want to be cramming all of the material into your brain again. That's very unrealistic and is overwhelming. So you want to target the weak areas and focus more time and effort of that. And remember, the gradual improvement is the goal, not perfection on day one. So do not feel overwhelmed if you realize that there are areas that you need to work on. And focus review. Again, don't overwhelm yourself. The topics that you're missing questions, that you're not understanding, that you consistently are not getting the correct answer or feel like you need to spend most time on, those are the review areas that you want to focus on. You want to keep principles and core concepts, and you don't need to know all the tiny details like what is the normal numbers for diagnostic tests, or what are the specific suture materials that you should be using for surgery. Focus on the big pictures. Remember those ones first, and details will naturally make sense. And again, keep practicing questions regularly. This is the most effective way to learn. So, key takeaways on the practicing and strategy of studying is you want to study smarter, not harder, and do a lot of practice questions so then you can identify and then focus on your weak zones. But also, you want to look at the familiar ones again and gain more confidence. And then remember that progress at this point is more important than perfection. Well, then how are we supposed to plan for this? Timetable wise, how are we supposed to manage our time? It's a lot of materials to have to go through in a limited amount of time, and each exam is like a one shot, 1 day. You either have like 220 minutes or you have 360 minutes, and that's when you're just bombarded with all these multiple choice questions. So the most important things I want to tell our students is you have to plan this around your routine. Do not change your routine completely so that you are going to classes every day and then studying endlessly in the evenings, because that is going to overwhelm you. You're going to feel stressed out and you're going to burn out easily. So you want to be realistic about your timetable planning. Try waking up an hour to an hour and a half earlier for quick practice sessions, and then use evenings to focus on the weaker topics to review notes. remember, you want to study smarter, not harder but ineffectively, okay? And then the you want to build consistency, so you have like 2 or 3 productive hours daily that will make the big difference. You don't want to be endlessly reading notes, endlessly doing practice questions, and not really focusing on your weak areas and gaining confidence, and then spending like 5 6 hours sacrificing your sleep. Those are going to feel like during that time it's effective, but in the end you are going to actually feel more stressed out and burnt out and learn less effectively due to stress. And as I said, it's going to be challenging but essential to balance all of these things: studying, rest, and personal time together. Each week, sorry, oof, each week you just want to use at least one full day or at least 2 evenings per week to recharge. So you're not feeling like you are just burned out, you're just endlessly studying and there's no end or light to the tunnel. You want to take at least one day off and use that time to really exercise, do things you enjoy, like go work out, go swimming, go to a good restaurant, watch a movie, go on a date. Just use that time to recharge, to do the things that you routinely enjoy doing, and don't use all the time to study. And then you also want to reflect on your progress again, to like focus on the areas that you already know, the weaker areas um that you feel like you need to work more on, and reflect on your progress, because that will give you a sense of accomplishment, and that will give you a sense of how much you already know and give you a more positive mindset to continue. And remember, rest is a huge part of preparation. Do not sacrifice sleep over studying. That, as we know from medical studies for humans, stress is not a good way to help you study. That will actually deter away from effective memory and learning. And one really important thing is you want to avoid burnout. As I was just saying and leading to the slide, overstress and fatigue is actually lowering your learning abilities. And studying when your brain is exhausted, yes, you might be looking at the notes and glazing through it with your eyes, but how much of it are you really absorbing and retaining in your brain? You want to be effective. You don't want to spend extra amount of time for wasted effort. So you want to keep your energy sustainable. And also, please take short breaks every 45 to 60 minutes. Please go for a snack, walk around, maybe chat up with your friends, communicate with your colleagues regarding review questions or just about the daily lives. And then remember to sleep 7 to 8 hours regularly and stay hydrated, okay? Do not get burned out during this study session. Everything is going to be okay. So the key takeaways, these are my 2 cats. So the key takeaways is to stay very positive, that in consistency, studying an hour to an hour and a half early in the morning, and then reviewing the lecture contents at night. The consistency of that kind of routine while taking breaks is going to be more important than intensity. And then scheduling to rest one day or 2 evenings a week is not a luxury, but it's very important to recharge, and a healthy mind will learn faster and retain more information. So we just want to, I don't want to say in a cliche way, but we want to keep calm and carry on, and this will really beat an intense but short-lived sprint. It's a marathon, all right? And I understand that in veterinary medicine, it's a diverse journey for everybody. In every vet class, students come from very different walks in their lives. There's some fresh graduates, there's some graduate students returning from study, there's some working professionals, or some students that are changing careers right now, and also parents that are balancing family, finances, and study. Each path is unique, but we all share the same dream of becoming a veterinarian. So let's all work hard together. Let's all adjust to a routine that works for us, and study and tackle the studying and tackle the exams, and we will get through this. Be confident about yourself. We will get through this. So my perspective in this is, so I entered veterinary school right out of undergrad. So I was still a student at that point, and my routine was already a student mindset. However, there are many of my classmates that returned to academics after years of another field, one of which was already in another government job for over 10 years, and she already has kids who are already in their early teens, and she decided that she really wanted to realize her childhood dream and become a veterinarian again. So she came back to school, and then she did her 4 years of veterinary medicine studying, and then finished her NAVLE and became a very successful veterinarian after, while balancing, while balancing the mindset of changing careers completely, while balancing a mindset of being a parent and time management. So I thought that was really admirable. So don't worry. It's never too late to become a veterinarian. Just think of your whys. Think of why you wanted to become a veterinarian in the first place, and this will really help motivate and inspire you to continue with this journey while you study. And also, I have another classmate who was already a emergency doctor in the human world, so human physician and emergency doctor, and she is also still a breeder of German Shepherds for Canadian police here. So she really wanted to be able to obtain another degree to be able to gain the knowledge and skill set to take care of her breeding kennel for her German Shepherds. So she balanced her emergency doctor job during 4 years of veterinary school, and she did her NAVLE, and now she's a successful veterinarian. She does mobile veterinary work to do wellness checks, vaccines, blood works for her fellow breeders, for other dogs, and then also for the police force. So I think that also is super inspiring that if you put your mind to what you want to do, you will achieve it. Just be confident in your abilities. Be confident with your abilities, be good with your time management, and everything is possible. Do not feel discouraged during the studying time. It's only one small step before the end goal, okay? So supportive mindset will be very important. Having a supportive family, supportive partner that can really help you with finances, errands, daily tasks, and really encourage you will be really helpful. But the most important mindset is still yourself and knowing why and asking yourself and reminding yourself why that you want to do this. Why do you want to be a veterinarian? Like, what is it because for your love for animals? Is it because for your love for medicine? Is it the constantly different and challenging daily cases that you're interested in? Is it the client-patient relationship that you really crave? So those things are things that you really want to ask yourself and continue to remind yourself why you got into veterinary medicine, why you want to become a veterinarian. And those are really going to help you remind yourself, recharge yourself during the times of studying. Remember, staying consistent and keeping your routine is really going to help during this time that you prepare for your board exams. So key takeaway, sorry. This is my graduating class. As you can see here, like in our class, we have mainly females here. I think it's more trending towards that way in North America. So mainly females here, but everyone comes for a diverse ethnicity. And we have some guys in the back, and some of them are like students like myself. Some of them are already graduate students that came back for study. Some of them are parents. Some of them are already large animal producers. And as I said, there's like human doctors there as well, or those who are switched their careers. But believe me, all of my classmates, all 80 of them, we all passed our NAVLE board. So don't worry. Things will get better. You will pass your exam. Just keep your routine, stay confident, don't stress out, and don't burn out. Definitely, I don't want to like not talk about the difficulties and challenges because there definitely will be those there. While keeping a positive mindset and being focused on our goals, we want to also recognize that there are going to be some setbacks. There are going to be days of which we feel like It's harder than other days. It's like the stress and burnout of studying, the stress and burnout from balancing everything. Those are gonna be naturally stressful, but that's okay. Use that stress as a motivation, not a pressure. And remember that success is not from non-stop studying. It's from the sustainable, consistent routine. It's from balancing your daily lives. It's from continuing to remind yourself to recharge, to go out on those days off, to take those 2 evenings off, to really share your emotions and share your support with your family and friends, with your colleagues. Those are the important things to keep us focused, to keep us away from burnout and stress. But I really personally think that this whole studying period is going to make us as aspiring veterinarians better at handling those kind of pressure that when we start our career, we're going to still have to juggle with time. We're still going to face challenges and challenging cases of which are going to stump us in our careers and feel like, oh, I don't think I remember this, or I don't think I've studied this at school, but that's okay because we will find a solution, and also to help us with time management and maintaining professional focus. So just think of the 4 to 5 years of schooling. Think of the preparation for the exams to help us better prepare for a career. Have that mindset and continue to go on. We can do it. And that's my graduation photo from like 2016. And always remind yourself, keep doing what you love. Do not give up the hobbies and things that make you you. As I said, if you love swimming, love going to the movie, love online gaming, or love like spending time with your family and friends and your partner, do that. Do that once a week. Give yourself a break. Remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of the life that you want to have after becoming a veterinarian, after this whole studying period, and that will continue to help us carry on. And then also, a few, let me tell you that a few hours of joy will not make or break your exam results. It might feel very stressful that you feel like, oh, this time that I'm going out, I might be able to use it to study like 10 more questions, study one more lecture. Don't worry, everything will get done. You will pass, and these hours are actually going to refresh and recharge your mind and keep yourself more balanced and at ease and less stressed out and help you learn more effectively. And also, just want to give you the stats. The pass rate of last year, 2024, was 88%. That is really high. So don't worry. Just go do what you're doing right now. Set your routine. Focus on the weak areas. You will pass. 88% is a great pass rate. So you must have confidence in yourself. Remember, you made it already this far in a 4 to 5 years of veterinary training. Some of you are even doing great at changing careers. You're coming back to studying after being a graduate student. You're balancing between parenting. Those are more intense than just this one exam. So you made it this far in life. You're already capable. Remind yourself how much information you already retained. Remind yourself why you're here. And this is just the last stretch before the finish line. You can do it. Have confidence in your preparation and just trust the process. Trust the process. And remember that you do not need to remember everything. You just need to really focus on the big picture, to focus on the areas that you feel like you're not as confident in, and just go from there. Focus on those ones, review those, and practice, practice, practice your study questions. And one more time, can't say this enough. You want to avoid burnout. You don't want to let your brain shut down and resist the studying. You want the regular rest, the 7 to 8 hours sleep a day. You want the small breaks to just get up every 45 to 60 minutes, walk around, have a snack, chat with a friend, play a game, have a coffee to avoid the burnout, to keep you focused and efficient. Just think long term. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself and do a little bit of like time management in which areas of the studies that you want to spend on each day for the hour and an hour and a half, like early in the morning or after classes and after work. Just break down the different study topics and then try to put them in each time block or week by week, and you'll be able to finish strong and by pacing yourself. And it's okay to rest. You're not falling behind. You're recharging to go further. And here is one of the more important things I really want to talk to everyone about. So, don't forget, you are not alone. There are great resources out there. The WISE IAS Veterinary Studying and Learning Academy is amazing. The one-year live course is great. You're going to be hearing a lot of sessions from veterinarians like me who's been through the process, who's learned as much as you guys have learned, and we will help you with your studying tips. We'll help you focus on different topics that you have to cover, including but not restricted to like small animal medicine, parasites, large animal medicine, surgery, exotics, public health concerns, and all the topics that you feel like you've learned in your veterinary medicine studying, but just really want to focus on and to narrow down the important things you need to remember to study for your exams. So don't worry, our one-year live course is there. We're going to have regular sessions to focus on different topics that you can join and learn and raise questions or concerns if you want, and we are here to help you. And this comprehensive learning journey will cover all core topics in a structured step-by-step format. So this will help prevent our students from feeling overwhelmed or how to budget their time or scramble with the topics that they need to focus on. These will really help you time manage. These will help you study effectively and smarter, and it's designed to our course is designed to strengthen both clinical understanding and exam performance. So we trust the WISE IAS Veterinary Academy to really help us with that. So, what will our course include? So, as you already experienced today, we'll have live classes like today with experienced veterinary educators. So, focusing on different studies. It's a very tight and structured curriculum. And we will also discuss practice questions that may appear in these sessions. And we will help you go through any difficulties or any challenges or questions that we have, and we have interactive Q&A, and we will help you resolve your doubt, restore your confidence. There'll also be weekly assignments to help reinforce concept to really make sure that you are understanding and getting a well-deserved takeaway from each of our sessions. And there will be mock tests and progress tracking to help measure improvement. So as I continue to emphasize, just do more practice questions to really get used to the question format, to really get used to the answer format, to really help you get into the mindset of reading questions carefully, analyzing questions carefully, rephrasing questions and answers to your own words, and then be able to see your improvement through the progress tracking and also to gain more confidence in the exams. And also, we will have personal mentorship and guidance for study planning and motivation so that we understand that different students come from diverse backgrounds. We understand that different students have different learning modes. So we will help and customize and really coordinate around everyone's wants and needs. So we'll be able to really help you with your learning style, and we'll adjust our teaching style to better fit the way that we can help promote success in these different veterinary medicine final exams. And you'll never feel lost. We will be here to support every stage of the way. And we just really want to trust the WISE IAS Academy to help us with this. As I said, this will be for every type of learner. For students and graduates already in a student mindset, it will help build solid foundations and confidence before exams. Working professionals, we have flexible schedules and focused revision so that after a full day at work, in the evenings or on the weekends, you'll be able to join these live sessions or see the replay of these sessions and focus on revising And then for career change students, there's structured guidance to help re-enter academic learning. And don't worry, there's not one single pathway for all. It's all a customized support based on your goals and routine. So why do we want to choose WISE IAS? Because it's a one-year life course that's organized, consistent, and guided. So we don't have to feel like we're studying alone. We don't have to feel like it's very overwhelming and stressful because we don't know when and how to start. And we're gonna have clear timelines and measurable milestones to help like track your progress and to help focus on your weak areas, and it's a very balanced mix of content mastery and exam strategy. And also, we have very good proven success of helping students reach their NAVLE and licensing goals to help improve those success rate and pass rates of these board exams. So just remember, we're not just a course. We are a complete mentorship system to really help you stay consistent and confident and exam ready. So, what do we really want to remind ourselves? That the light is at the end of the tunnel. We are so close to being done. After 4 to 5 years of intense classes, learning all the veterinary medicine that there information that there is out there, that we are almost done. We just need to pass this one exam and we can hang our hats and feel like you did it. So passing the exam is not just the end, so we don't want to be too stressed and burnt out because of the exam. It's the beginning of your career as a veterinarian. That's definitely something to celebrate about. It's going to be fantastic. You're realizing your childhood dream. You're realizing your career dream. You're going to start becoming a veterinarian. You're starting to see patients, to really build that connection, to run your diagnostic tools, and you're treating and you are making animal patients feel better. Those are things that you want to think about when you feel like the studying is overwhelming. But we want to remind ourselves that the light is at the end of the tunnel and you're almost there. The rewarding part is almost coming. You're gonna be able to, after you have your license, apply all those knowledge that you've learned and through your studying and your exams, and you are going to be applying those to the real world, and you can continue to grow and be a successful veterinarian. That's something to really, really look forward to. So, you might ask then, what is it like to be a veterinarian? I myself, I really, really love the everyday that is different, the variety of new cases and new challenges. I think that's my favorite part, and why I got into veterinary medicine is because I feel like this is way more rewarding and more fun, something to wake up and be looking forward to every day as a job compared to working as like a office job or like a repetitive job that I don't really feel like I can be challenged physically and mentally every day. And as you can see here, I'm like holding on to a puppy, border collie puppy, and this puppy is actually only 6 weeks old at this point. And just the thought of like being able to hold on to these fluffy puppies and kittens is really what brings me joy and makes me look forward to waking up and going to work every day. And also, diagnosing, treating, and seeing patients recover is really rewarding and it keeps every day stimulating. So just remember that all the knowledge that you're learning now and all the exams that you're going through right now, those are all going to be put into good everyday practice and really going to be helping your patients and your owners every day once you start your career. And also, we don't want to forget that being a veterinarian means that there's also lifelong learning, because there's always new medical papers coming out. There are always new medicine coming out, new diagnostic tools that we got to learn and keep ourselves updated to better help our patients and our owners. And to remember that veterinary medicine never stops evolving. That's why we have to have like continued education credits for us, it's like 30 hours every 2 years. because we want to continue to be in a mindset and stimulate ourselves to learn more, to get better at our jobs, to be a better veterinarian. And after you're a veterinarian, you can always specialize or explore new fields. I'm still a general practitioner, so I do not have a certified specialty in anything, but I have a special interest in traditional Chinese veterinary medicine that includes acupuncture, includes holistic food therapy as well as laser therapy. So I have gone to study more at the Chi University for these specialized interests, and I do have certification in these different areas of practicing as well. But I really think that integrated medicine, combining like Western medicine as well as a more holistic approach, really helps like in a preventive care and to prolong the quality and the lifespan of our patients more while we integrate all of these different areas of medicine together. And I always want to remind our students that continuous learning will make your career fresh, dynamic, meaningful, but also to better help treat our patients. So in the picture here, we're performing laser therapy on our clinic cat PP, who has had recurring urinary tract infections that in the end we had to perform a PU surgery on him, and we are just in here performing laser therapy to help decrease the inflammation of his urinary tract, his bladder, his urethra and his ureters to prevent him from recurring UTIs and to prevent the hematuria and discomfort. And as you can see here, he's very much enjoying this, and he's wearing little sunglasses to prevent the infrared light from reaching his eyes and to protect his eyes, basically. But as you can see, there's lots of varieties and lots of different things that we can do in a veterinary world. So I never want everyone to think that we can't stop learning, because we really should. And preparing for exam will really help us to find out our learning style, to help us with how to study so that we can continue to do this in our careers. So, what about work-life balance? Honestly, with the right clinic culture, mentorship, and teamwork, the balance is going to be great. And when I say good clinic culture, I mean, everybody in the clinic working as a team, to have strong mentorship, to have more senior or more experienced veterinarians that can really help the new graduates, the new vets to learn, to practice, to gain their confidence in terms of their knowledge and their skills, and be patient with them and to help them overlook cases. So those are very good traits of good mentorship. So I really encourage that once becoming a licensed veterinarian to make sure to find a hospital with a good culture and good mentorship to really help you guide through the first couple of years as a vet. So I worked as a veterinarian under a board certified dermatologist for the first 6 years, and our clinic culture was great. It was like a small private business, and the mentorship was great. My old boss was, of course, a dermatologist, so I really learned a lot from him in terms of how to treat skin and ear cases, how to tackle allergy, and that really helped me a lot in the future career. And teamwork is great as well. There's lots of good veterinary nurses. There was lots of good veterinary assistants that even until now, we still work together after like 9 to 10 years. So definitely, I think I was very lucky. And I really do think that after you guys get your license and become a veterinarian, to really, it's great to find a first workplace like this to learn and to build confidence as a baby vet. And then in 2021, my schoolmate and myself, we started our own hospital, and now we work 4 days a week. We open 7 days a week, but we each work 4 days a week, and we have 1 day overlap, so we cover for each other, and we can take vacations as needed. So right now, I really feel like we have a really good work We really have a good work-life balance. And I too will also do part-time at other clinics as well, not because we really need it, but more for me to look at how the other hospitals are running, to just change the pace and to change the work environment and to stimulate myself to continue to learn. And my business partner, she is a award-winning border collie breeder. So in the previous picture, the border collie puppy that I was holding on to was like one of the babies of her kennel. And then she also goes to dog shows to show her dogs, and she also does reproductive work such as like artificial insemination. She prepares and assesses semen. So, and she does like C-sections and planned pregnancies. So that is really her passion. Whereas my passion, in addition to being a vet 4 to 5 days a week, I'm also progressing to become a food and travel blogger just for my own self because I love food and I love traveling because we have a good work-life balance. So we're able to do the things and pursue the hobbies that we really enjoy as well. Um, Very important. So there are gonna be gloomy days, even in the studying days, of which you're going to feel like, why am I doing this? Please remind yourself constantly when you recharge why you want to become a veterinarian. Is it because of love for your animal patients? Is it a love for medicine? Was it a childhood dream? Do you enjoy the challenge of diagnosing and treating? What is your why? That's really important to remind yourself so that you can continue to study, continue to finish your licensing exam, and continue to grow in your career. Just remember the exam itself right now, just the thought of it may be very stressful and demanding, but it's the one final hurdle before stepping into the career that you've worked so hard for. And remember, you are capable. You already come this far. You already did 4 to 5 years of veterinary medicine schooling. There's no way why you will not be able to like gather up all the information that you already know, focus, have wise IAS really help you structure and build confidence and support you, and finish this exam and pass with flying colors. You have the strength and the dedication. You can do this. And always remember, you are not alone. The Wise IAS Veterinary Academy is helping you with the journey to make things easier, more structures, more clear, so that you're studying smarter, not more ineffectively and harder, but smarter and more efficiently. And with consistent effort, smart planning, and the right guidance, and your own confidence and mindset, success is absolutely achievable. So remember, we're here to guide you, to support you, to walk beside you in every step of your journey. And I'm just including a picture here of our 13-year-old lab, one of my patients who's here every week for acupuncture. And this is something that I really enjoy doing, as you can see. And as you can see too, this dog here is like very happy and very relaxed while we perform acupuncture on her. So, the last closing message that I have for everybody is you want to believe in your dream and trust in your preparation. You're almost at the end of the tunnel. You can do this. We're all here to help you. Remember to take breaks, avoid burnouts, and you can do this. Stay consistent and don't lose sight of why you started. And you're not just studying for an exam, you're building the foundation of a lifelong calling. So I think my presentation will conclude here. So if there's any questions, I think is it possible to open up the floor for everyone to either type or ask their questions verbally right now? Or I think if our students think of additional questions that after this session, feel free to send it to Wise Academy, and I will also, and then these questions can be directed to me, and then I can help answer them as well. Oh, I have a question. So I have a question here that you're a veterinary student with 2 years and left for graduation. Suggest the study materials for BCSE I should focus on. So, I myself, I took the NAVLE instead of the BCSE. So there are definitely lots of books and resources out there to help with guidance, but I do think that to be able to search for the BCSE website to look for practice question will be the best resource. And as I said, the way to study is to go through as many test questions as possible first so that you can know the question style and the answer style, and then go back to studying and focusing on areas in your lecture notes of which you feel like you need to focus on the weaker areas and then gain more confidence in areas that you already know. But I really do feel like if you still have 2 years left, that's still a lot of time. So I do suggest that joining Wise IAS coaching will be the best to help you focus on each of the topics and then help you have like really customized support to guide you through each topic and areas of which you have questions about to better and more efficiently teach you with your studying. Have another question here. Even if my entire degree is in English language, do I still need to give um, the IELTS or English proficiency exam? So that question I do think is a better question directed at where you want to practice. So I know that in Canada, you can do your board exams as well as your NAVLE in English, no problem. But in order to obtain a working visa here in Canada, you will still need to do your IELTS proficiency exam. So I think that will definitely be a better question to when you decide on where you want to practice for your career. Thank you. And there's a question regarding not being in a field veterinarian but teacher the public health branch. How difficult will this exam be for me? Um, I think as a teacher from a public health branch, if you have had knowledge regarding anatomy, physiology, chemistry, you will at least have a good scientific background. However, the veterinary medicine licensing exam will mainly still be focused on veterinary medicine directed to animals. So I think there will be some challenges, but I'm confident that the WISE IAS study 1 year live session will really help you hone down on the different topics that will need to be covered and tested and really help you focus and be more efficient at studying and tackling the exam. Um, what do you suggest? ECPFG or PAVE for recently graduate students? From my colleagues and friends who've done both, they have told me that they feel that the PAVE is more realistic in terms of it's more focused, and the PAVE will have two sessions, of which one is the scientific exam written one, and then there's also the actual practicum examination for the OSCE. So I think that one will be more directed at veterinary medicine and will be easier to navigate for graduate students. And I have another question, which is the better? Oh, sorry, these two questions from both Jay and Yojendra are the same. So, which is the better pathway for international graduate, PAVE, the PAVE, or the ECFVG? As I said, currently from my friends and my colleagues who are also like study internationally, they do feel like the PAVE is the better way to go. It's more structured. And there seems to be more resources targeting the PAVE exam. So the WISE IAS Academy is also very good at breaking down the topics and focusing more on the PAVE exam. So definitely I would suggest that the PAVE will be the better way to go for international graduates. I think I've helped everyone with their questions as well. So I really want to thank everyone again to join this session with me and to be able to learn a bit about my experience and a little bit about my studying tips and to really be focused on like studying but not burning out and focus on your routine. And I think the most important message as a closing message is just be confident in yourself. Remember why you want to do this, why you want to become a veterinarian, and pace yourself. Look for the help and support that you need. Commit to learning and studying smarter, not effortlessly harder, and you will get there. We will all become veterinarians and colleagues after a few years. I'm confident about that. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that everyone have a fantastic rest of the day.